Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing something super exciting. I recently beat the video game Expedition 33 Clair Obscur, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was having so much fun. I get why it got so many awards. I know there was a huge controversy with it. We'll get into that in a second, but I wanted to do a piece without giving too many spoilers of what or when things happened with my piece, and just try to be as creative as possible with it, of Maelle, and I hope you guys enjoy this little sequence of speed painting that we have here. Now, obviously, this piece is kind of just an accumulation of all the fun I had working on the game and trying to play it and seeing all the creativity, colors, and painterly vibes that this game has. And the love and care that this game shows that the developers had for it. And I know that there was a lot of controversy that came out about Unreal Engine 4, I think they were using to make the game, having a generated image of newspapers be a placeholder for some aspects that they were using. And I've said this before in the past, I do not condone that type of usage of generative images for creative works. Now, I did start the game before I realized that was going on, and that didn't really deter me because I found out what piece it was. It was very early on in the game, and it was one section, and they quickly fixed it after patch 1. And that's how quickly they realized. They gave a disclaimer, they said what was wrong with it, and it was quickly fixed. They were clear on what they did not mean to do that and what meant to them for not using that type of stuff. So I personally do not take fault for what they did. I don't blame them. It's just interesting that it blew up, and something as good as Expedition 33, there was a minor thing, and everyone made it seem like that was the biggest thing on why it shouldn't get any more awards and so on and so forth. And I get why some game awards decided not to go for it. But this game told a phenomenal story. It told a great story about family. It told a great story about found family, lost family. It told a great story about just the unfairness of life, I would have to say, and how everything has moved forward with life and all the differences that happen. And that's kind of the interesting aspect for this. Now, you'll notice that I definitely was trying to do a lot of details for Maelle in this piece because of all of the lighting. I wanted to try some of my hand work at the old rendering style I used to do, and trying to push that forward as much as I can to give this that painterly vibe that I fell in love with this game, and all the cool little aspects that it gave for this game. Now, again, I'm really happy that, the company that worked on this game, I'm pretty sure it's Clair Obscura's dev team, worked on this, were very clear and upfront about the mistake and mishap that happened, and that it was not wanted in the game to begin with. It was just there. But this game is beautiful. It is phenomenal. And I will say that the only issue I personally had with this game is that they made it seem like the bosses are going to get exponentially stronger later on in the game. And being a JRPG player, it felt a little too easy later on. But that's my only qualm. That's it for me, besides, the whole AI situation. Now, obviously, the tough part with the piece, let's get back into the talking about the art. The tough part with this piece was that I haven't done poofy shirts in a hot minute for painting and illustrating, and I just felt like it was a struggle for me to work that out. And trying to get all of the pieces to look semi-realistic as much as possible was also super difficult. Now, I wanted to eventually have the Expedition 33 logo, the big 33 in the background, be a centerpiece for this. And when I got towards the end of this piece, as you'll see here in a little bit, it didn't quite fit the illustration storytelling that would come from this piece. It didn't quite fit the aspects and the painterly vibe. So I just took it out, did the quick graphics of the Art Deco that is a huge part of the game, and try to use my oil painting brush to give this as much of a traditional vibe as I was doing this on Clip Studio Paint as possible, because this piece was super fun. Now, around this time, I did get a critique because I felt like there was something missing. There was just something missing, and this is when I added a Neveron, the monsters in this game, to the bottom left corner. And I think that just tied the full piece together and thoroughly made this piece look crisp and clean. And I hope that it looks crisp and clean to you guys as well, and you guys all enjoy this piece as much as I do. With that, I do hope you guys all have a great rest of your time on here on YouTube, and remember to like this video if you like this illustration, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment of what your favorite Neveron from Expedition 33 was. And I'll see you all again next time. Bye!